Hi, so in this video I'm going to do a reaction video to a user called Mateo Unfiltered Plus Esoteric, and I think it's very important that I do this video reaction because obviously it's um it's very worrying for me. I mean, not only as a person that practices this SR, but as a religious person, as a man of God. So, I mean, I've seen him wear this cross. So, I mean, my first impressions is he really a Christian? Because I mean, the subject itself, I mean, it can be talked about by anyone that practices. Usually the people that talk about SR and NoFap are Christians themselves because they want to unite with God and have a deep relationship. Usually, apart from other benefits like success, material wealth, and all of this, which is good, but I mean, doesn't necessarily mean that you believe in God. I mean, it can be, but sometimes people do it for moral reasons, usually to better themselves. But I mean, in this case, see, this is why I'm very angry with this Mr. Mateo Unfiltered because I mean, yes, he's got great knowledge. I've seen, he's talking a lot of sense and but you see when you talk about God, you're wearing the cross, you've got to stop this cussing, Mr. Mateo. I mean, I've seen, I mean, several videos of him, and it's not just, okay, maybe one or two very mild cuss words, and then, the rest is okay. No, it's really, really like 20, 30 S words in the video, and, that is not on because I mean, as I said, you are wearing the cross. Let me just log in the phone. Yeah, you are wearing the cross. So, if you're going to claim I'm a Christian, and I've said this in hundreds of videos before, you have to act like a Christian. And, I mean, it could be any religion really, but because he's chose to wear the cross, that's a big giveaway already. If you're going to be doing that and constantly cursing in your video, and especially like I said, because this is a sacred image, it's representing God and Jesus. Just like, if I were to wear a sacred Hindu symbol. I mean, I'm Hindu anyway, but it's even more important than to behave extra, well and polished, as you can say, civilized. It's no good if I'm a Hindu and if I'm cursing every sentence or every video. I mean, I'd be probably, people are going to have a very bad impression of me, or should, if, I'm teaching something and acting totally different. And this is exactly what he's doing. It's every video I've seen, you know, it's S words, it's F words, it's, you know, vulgar F words, which again, totally unacceptable. Wearing this cross, Mr. Mateo, you know, you really should take that cross off because you're just demeaning yourself. Okay, you should just say, I mean, I think he mentioned something about I'm a believer, but he's not. I think actually he did say that he's not following something like that. He's not at that level. But then, even then, you shouldn't really. It's no good wearing this cross. Is my point, because this is what followers would do. Real serious believers. But as someone that's just, well, I mean, it's as I said, it's just so embarrassing because, like I said, I can't really watch a video without, about 30 or 40 cuss words, full of S words and F words in most of them. So it's really like, you know, it's very discouraging to get through a video. But of course, the knowledge is great. It's very esoteric knowledge, but with terrible vocabulary. So, that sort of makes it not good. As I said, someone can have great knowledge, but, if they're going to behave in this vulgar and, you know, very distasteful way, I'm sure God won't appreciate it because, he wants people to act, in a Christian or whatever I said religion, you have to act in that moralistic way, and he's not doing that. And also, I think someone else pointed it out in the comment section in the first 10 seconds, but that person himself was guilty of typing the words out. So I had to tell him off as well, in the comment section, because he actually typed, the S word and the F word. So, text swearing. So, I don't know if that was done deliberately or not, but, it's like a comedy of errors, basically. One text cursing person is telling one speech cursing person to stop swearing, so they're both like, they both did wrong, but okay, we focus on Mr. Mateo because, as I said, it really has to stop at some point. I still watch your videos for knowledge, but I think I'm far more experienced as a teacher myself, as celibate master and no fat master, and years of being on hard mode. But you see, this is what I would never ever descend to using that sort of language, even if I wasn't, 8+ years on hard mode, because it's all about respecting, God while you're on the journey. And certainly, I don't know, I think he must have had some sort of trauma or something happen in his life that's making him, react in this angry way. But then, you shouldn't really wear that cross because it's said, God is watching everything anyway. You should. And God is listening to your speech and how you talk. And being a Christian, I would think you would have some knowledge of the Bible. I hope you do, but you definitely need to put it into practice very quickly because you're going to lose views. You're going to lose subscribers at some point because people are going to think, oh goodness, here comes Mr. Guttermouth again, and I have to watch this video and he's going to curse like 30, 40 times, and my ears, you know. So I just hope, and because I really, as I said, I do like the knowledge. Knowledge is fine, but the way that you're presenting this knowledge is terrible. It's absolutely disgraceful. So I hope for some change, Mr. Mateo, because you know if there's one person you do not want to, because I'm an expert in this. I've called out many fake Christians like yourself. So this is one thing. This is my expertise, my domain. You do not want to get on the wrong side of me on this. You know, because you will regret it, as many Christians have. Now, not only on YouTube but on Instagram as well. They really, got on the wrong side of me, and it did not have a happy ending at all for them. Obviously, because I follow God to the best of my ability, and then people have also made allegations about me, but I don't really worry too much because they can't critique me on this. They can try, and they're probably desperately searching, to find something to bring me down. But this is where I excel. I am 16 plus years, without cursing, without F words, especially. That is really like I promised God, and I'm still maintaining my promise. So, anyone, I think maybe in all my YouTube videos, there's not one bad word, maybe a tiny mild one at some point, but other than that, very clean, very immaculate. And this is how it should be, Mr. Mateo. Then again, he's about 16, he said, so, a lot of learning to do. And also, I didn't like when he was, using this vulgar words in one of the videos and doing this action, you know, with his hips and whatnot. I mean, okay, maybe, to get the point across, but he didn't really have to use, dirty language. That's gutter stuff. Not needed, Mr. Mateo. Very disappointed with you. And, and why every video too? That's the other thing. It's not just one video. I mean, what even one video is bad enough, but it's almost every video. I think actually there was a 6 minute video of him going, without saying any cuss words, maybe very mild one. But if that's the limit, then I mean, you need to really get it where you're at the level where you can go many videos without cursing. You got to really work hard on that and rewire your thought process. So then, people can feel comfortable. This guy is practicing his belief and teaching at a very high level too. Okay, well, this isn't a full heavy roast because I don't want to tear him down, and I understand he's young and probably very, new in his faith, but I do expect some serious improvement. Definitely by 2027, I expect all these videos without a single cuss words or anything. But do keep it in mind, Mr. Young Mateo, 16-year-old man. Okay, that would be all for now. And let's see where this journey takes him. Okay, goodbye.